What's up, everybody? My name is Brian Nichols. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I haven't made a video since, I think, my COVID video. I was supposed to actually continue to work on content between the beginning of COVID and not, but that didn't happen. So kind of been 2 months without a video, so let's get back on that, shall we? Today we had UFC 250 that just wrapped up about 15 or so minutes ago. So it was UFC 250, Amanda Nunes versus Felicia Spencer, and I'd say an overall good card. Before I jump into it, I should have made some videos when we started UFC back up, but I don't know, I kind of got behind and got lazy, so I want to stay on top of this, so we will continue going forward. Unfortunately, probably not many small MMA promotions doing any events. I mean, I don't think Bellator started back up. I don't know if I think Ryzen might be working on scheduling a card. I don't know of any local MMA promotions that are doing anything because they can't have a gate, they can't have tickets, and that's probably what the small promotions are utilized to make money. So obviously with advertisers and things like that or endorsements, but when it comes to UFC, they're making money off of ESPN anyway, so they don't need a gate. They can just keep making the content and they'll keep making money as of now. So yeah, well, I guess we'll just go on with UFC content, and if I come up with any other ideas, or if you guys are interested in any other content, I'm pretty open. So all right, anyways, moving forward. So yeah, main event, Amanda Nunes defeating Felicia Spencer, went all 25 minutes, all 5 rounds, and this is a dominating fight for Amanda Nunes. That whole thing with the guy putting down $1 million, Amanda Nunes, like, I felt like it was a safe bet. Like, you're crazy for doing $1 million, but who's to say? Obviously it wasn't Warren Buffett, but if it was somebody like that high up, $1 million is nothing to him anyway. So obviously, if he's betting $1 million, he's okay with burning $1 million because this is MMA, man. Anything can happen. But I like how they showed that like 5 times in the broadcast. Like, come on, guys, I get it. I mean, I wonder were they all over that because that was like the number one like highest bet on an MMA fight? I doubt it. Maybe. I don't know. Anyways, the fight, dude, Amanda looked fucking unstoppable as always. She was just picking Felicia apart piece by piece, and I know Felicia likes to drag it to the ground. She has that weird, I don't want to say, it's hard to say this. She almost has like that non-athletic, not look, but her style. Obviously she's athletic, but she just doesn't look like the style like of Amanda Nunes, right? She doesn't have that crisp technique. She's kind of like, all over the place. And, she's done well up to this point. She usually gets the fights to the ground and is able to use her grappling or use her strikes on the ground. But man, kind of the same issue she ran into Cyborg. Like, she was able to tough it out the entire fight, but just couldn't. The thing is kind of like, I think it was DC or Joe Rogan said, like, she had her moments in the Cyborg fight. I really don't think she had any moments in this fight at all. I know they were talking about possibly throwing in the towel as well, and I'd say, I think it was after the 3rd round, and I was like, let the 4th round start playing out, and if it starts getting really bad, let's throw it in. If anything, Herb Dean should probably call it. And after that 4th round, I think it was DC, was like, yeah, we should probably call it. It's like, it's a title fight. She's obviously going to be mad, but you got to think about the human being behind the fighter and things like that. So I'm always usually pretty down for throwing in a towel, so I probably would have been okay with it. But anyways, Amanda Nunes, what's next for her, dude? I have no idea. Like, honestly, should she retire? Should she just keep taking fights and keep winning and making more money, or should she call it and live a happy life with her, fiance, or I don't know if they're wives now, with their kid coming up in September? Like, do you really want to go into training and do fights and things like that after your kid is born? I don't know. But she said she's going to go back to the drawing board, talk to the UFC, see what other options are there. I can't. Just like on the broadcast, they couldn't think of one other person other than Megan Anderson, but they're like, oh, Megan Anderson lost to Felicia. But yeah, Megan got that knockout in her last fight, which is on the same card as Felicia. But obviously they chose Felicia over Megan, I assume because Felicia beat Megan, when you're comparing the two. So maybe Megan, because I'm assuming Amanda doesn't want to go back to 135. If that's the case, fight Megan, then call it, But going back to 135, maybe, I'd say maybe just give up the 135, defend the 145 one more time, and then call it. So, great fight. Felicia Spencer just back to the drawing board. Maybe she can get some more fights if there's any more 145ers in the division. So, yeah, so that was our main event. Co-main event, woo! Cody Garbrandt getting that KO, baby, via right hook. 4:59 in round 2. So that means there was literally 1 second, and you could see it. So Cody Garbrandt defeated Raphael Assunção, and when Assunção fell, like the moment his body was touching the ground and then like kind of flopping, then the bell went off, then the buzzer went off, and I was glad Cody didn't try to do any follow-up hits, just like a fight later we'll talk about. But it was a damn good fight. They kept talking about Cody looked just as good as he did on that fight, in the fight with Dom Cruz. I want to disagree with that. He looked good. Don't get me wrong. He's looked in the TJ fight, in the first one, he still looked really good. Second TJ fight, I feel like he was a little gun shy, and then the third one, obviously, he just went crazy. This one, you could see he kept measured. He was able to slip quite a bit of shots Raphael was throwing at him, using those leg kicks. I think the work with Mark Henry definitely has been helping out, so that's good. It's funny, I was talking to my wife earlier today. She doesn't, of course, follow MMA as much as I do and some of my friends, and I'm sure some of you guys. But she does know Cody. She watches The Ultimate Fighter with me, so she gets to kind of get to know the fighters through that because, of course, she watches a lot of drama-y stuff on TV. Anyway, so she'll watch The Ultimate Fighter. And so she got to know TJ and Cody through all that, and she hated Cody and blah, blah. But she was down here with me earlier today, and she saw Cody was on the card. She's like, oh, Cody's on the card? And I was like, yeah. It's like, I thought you hate him. She's like, no, And I was telling her, I was like, you remember what why Cody had this crazy beef with TJ? She's like, yeah, because TJ went to a different gym. I'm like, guess what Cody did for this fight? She's like, no. I was like, yep, he went from Sacramento, California, all the way to New Jersey to train the Mark Henry. And of course, she doesn't know who Mark Henry is, but I said he's a very accomplished, very an amazing coach when it comes to supposedly the system he utilizes with the fighters, the breakdown of the techniques with the fighters and things like that. We hear all about it, and we see all the good things that comes out of that gym, and it's with Ricardo Almeida as well. And so I think that was really good for Cody to do that. And of course, from the way they're talking about it, they're saying that Cody isn't full-time being with Mark Henry and them. He's trying to split between Sacramento, which makes sense. I think his wife and kid are still in Sacramento, so he probably goes out with Mark Henry for maybe a month or something like that and finishes up the camp or goes back to Sacramento. I'm not sure. But, yeah, great fight. Dude, that whole, it was weird. What was Cody doing when he was up against the fence, like ducking that far down? Just that motion of ducking down that far, almost, is either his hand was on the cage or holding the cage. What was he doing? Was he really thinking, duck really far down and just super crazy haymaker? Or was he, thinking some kind of kick was coming? I don't know. But Raphael Assunção just didn't see it coming, dude. I think he saw it, you could see it when it showed slow-mo. He was trying to turn his head, but, dude, the hit was so hard. It was insane. So great fight for Cody. Cody's obviously going to move up in the rankings. I do not think, well, let's talk about the next fight since it's another bantamweight fight. So the third from the top of the card was another bantamweight fight between Aljamain Sterling and Cody Sandhagen. Aljamain Sterling taking the W. Let's see, it was 1 minute and 28 seconds in the first round via submission, rear naked choke. I actually was taking the dog out literally at the beginning of the fight. I come in and then I see the finish. So I didn't see, let's say the first minute and 20, or no, I say minute and 15. I saw the last 20 seconds and then, of course, the replay. But I was like, god damn it. My dog loves to, he for some reason is he likes to eat at late, of course. right during the UFC fight. So I try to see if he'll like eat between a fight, like kind of like this fight. It'll go a minute in, and then I'd be like, okay, dog, you got to go out, because then of course we know it's gonna be another friggin' 30 minutes for the next fight. But anyways, he had to go out. I was like, shit, let's go. And by the time he came in, fight ended in 15 seconds. Like, Jesus. But anyways, dude, the way it ended and how fast he did it with Cody Stamann, like, I thought that fight was gonna be a lot more competitive. At least from what I saw, Sterling manhandled him. And so if you compare between these two bantamweight fights, obviously, just like they were talking about on the broadcast, Sterling should be your number one. I still don't understand how Jose, coming off of a loss against Marlon Moraes, is getting a title shot. Peter Yan, sure, I can understand that. But Jose, I don't really understand that. I don't know if they're doing it to Jose because Jose's just a company man. You know, the UFC likes him, I'm sure, and things like that. But I don't understand it. Maybe they feel like they own one because of Conor. I don't know. But I think was it DC had a really good idea. Like, Aljamain should be paid or asked, and asked to be the backup, just in case Jose gets hurt, just in case his Peter Yan gets hurt. Because if that falls through and Aljamain's not there to step in, that would be a travesty. Travesty. But Corey Sandhagen, dude was 12-1. You know, he's already had a loss, so he'll just dust that off, come back. He's such a down to earth kind of guy, from what I've learned of him over this past week. But his fighting style, dude, I love it. So, but Cody Garbrandt, he definitely. Go back to Cody Garbrandt real quick. They were saying how it was like. I think I said I disagreed. Like, you could see he was feeling it with the whole ducking and rolling with the fights, and you could see he was like, you know, messing with Raphael at one point. But dude, he was not that sharp like he was with Dom Cruz. That was like the sharpest I've ever seen somebody in some of these fights. Was that Cody Garbrandt versus Dom Cruz? So I still don't think he's there. I think this win will give him confidence, because that invincibility, you know, you see that in these fighters, especially like in heavyweight. You see these dudes come up through like Overeem, or excuse me, not Overeem, Jesus, Francis Ngannou. When Ngannou comes up, just knocking people out left, right, first round knockout, you know, minute in, the dude just feels invincible. And then you run into Stipe, and it's a whole different story. And I feel like Cody felt that coming up through because he was undefeated. So you have that feeling of invincibility, and I feel like he's never going to have that again. He might get close, but I don't think he's going to ever have that feeling again like he did those moments he had against Dominic Cruz. He could probably get close. Like, if he was able to do it once, maybe he could do it again. But I feel like once you lose and you understand you're not invincible, like, then you have to be like, okay, I need to be smarter. Maybe he's finally gotten to that point. So Cody definitely doesn't deserve the next shot. I think he needs another, maybe him and Corey Sandhagen. Maybe that's the next fight to make. Since Corey Sandhagen and Aljamain Sterling was supposed to be like the de facto runner-up to the next title shot. Maybe that should be the case. So great two fights back to back there. Fight before that, Neil Magny gets a win, a unanimous decision. So after all 3 rounds against Anthony Rocco Martin, dude, I was riding high on Rocco. Dude, Rocco's a beast. Like, I looked at his Wikipedia earlier today. I think he had a 4-fight win streak leading into a fight with Damian Maia. Then he lost to Maia. Then he got another win, and then he had this fight. And Rocco, dude, he's been. I feel like there was like a fire lit under his ass. So I was kind of thinking he could take this. But we know with Neil Magny, dude, I don't know if it's the training in Denver or if it's just the training he does with his physical, or what's the word I'm looking for, like his physical training and stuff. I don't know if it's something different than that, but dude, his endurance is just off the charts. Like, his gas tank is insane. So if you start gassing Neil Magny, you're screwed. You're screwed. You have to hurt him early because you're not going to outgas Neil Magny. So Neil Magny took that win. I think Rocco just kind of was getting way too tired, and I think Joe Rogan mentioned that on the broadcast and how he was seeing Rocco like taking really big breaths. So good win by Neil Magny, getting back in there and getting the W. Let's talk about the next fight. This is the first fight on the pay-per-view. Sean O'Malley getting a first-round knockout. Let's see, 1 minute and 54 seconds in the very first round against Eddie Wineland. Eddie Wineland himself looking like a beast recently. And here comes old Sugar Time coming in and doing his thing. Like, that rainbow hair, dude, that shit stuck out. Like, I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody's hair like that, where it's like a fro and it's just like a rainbow going across. There's like some, maybe because it was so fresh, I couldn't tell. Like, I don't know shit about like dyeing hair. Have I dyed my hair before? I think I dyed it red for like a Halloween thing way back in the day when I was a kid. But whenever I see people's hair dye, it's like usually dark, or maybe it's after been a long time and it's like fading. But his shit was so vibrant. I was like, that actually looks pretty fucking cool. But dude, he went in there and just there. I think DC was going over the way he no-selled that uppercut. Like, he went like this, and then the left hand, and then just straight right. It just popped him. And Eddie just didn't see it coming. It just, dude, it looked bad for a minute. Like, Wineland was kind of like reaching and then standing there. I was like, I think his like lips were like shivering or something, because it looked like his mustache was like going like this. I was like, but dude, big props to Sean O'Malley. Just like after the fight and his interview with Joe Rogan, he was saying the same thing, not as vocal, maybe because of the platform, but beforehand, he was talking about how the UFC, was maybe they were asking him for other fights other than Eddie Wineland, but they were asking. It seems like they were either UFC was asking him, or maybe there's rumors of it. I'm not sure, but he basically said, "Hey, if the UFC really is wanting me to take fights at these higher level rankings, the higher level fights." He's like, I need that money. Like, I assume he's still on that Contender Series contract, the one that he friggin' signed for originally. I don't know. He's been in the UFC, what, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. It hasn't been that long. I'd have to look it up off the top of my head. But if he's still on that contract, he's getting screwed, dude. Probably the money he's making. I think I saw a thing. Do I still have it open? I don't think I do. I was seeing the payouts, and Sean O'Malley isn't making that much. And so if he's going to start taking those upper echelon fights, I hopefully agree. Not just, obviously, Sean O'Malley. Everybody needs to make more money, but what can we do about that other than the fighters doing a union and all that crap? Dude, pay that man. Start paying this man. Get this man in those bigger fights, and because he looks like he will be the one. He will be that guy. He's got the personality. He's got the look. He's got the fighting style. He's got the finishes. Like, he's flashy. It's another guy to start pushing, and he's not going to let you push until you start paying him. Pay the man. Get the machine behind him. Start pushing. So, fucking great fight, dude. Top of the regular prelims, Alex. How am I forgetting Alex's? Bruce Leroy. Caceres. He gets a unanimous decision over Chase Hooper. They were talking about on the broadcast how they didn't know how Chase Hooper got this fight as his second fight in the UFC. I'm going to reverse that. How did Alex Caceres get offered this fight? It was the dude's second fight in the UFC. And how many fights has Alex Caceres had in the UFC? And Chase is the next one. Like, he was saying, like Alex was saying to Joe Rogan after the fight, he's like, yeah, I've been labeled a gatekeeper. I don't know what he thinks or what other people think, but in my mind, a gatekeeper is somebody that is like I hate labeling people gatekeepers, but there's some that can really come to mind. And the one in the forefront of my mind is Cowboy Cerrone. He's that one guy that he just constantly is winning, gets to the top of the heap right before like those top 3, top 4 guys. And then like he'll finally get that really high shot either right before the title or gets a title shot and then loses. Gets right up there and loses. He's just always in that top 5, top 5, top 6, top 7. And so to me, that's a gatekeeper. If you're coming up and you beat that guy, you're in that top echelon where you're in like top 3, top 4. Like you're in the den, the killer den. And so that's to me, Alex Caceres is not at the top of his weight class at 145, blocking those all up and comers coming up. Because that's the case. Chase Hooper having a second fight in the UFC, up fighting a gatekeeper like that's not a gatekeeper in my mind. So I think he was wrong in saying that, but I think maybe it's just a modified version of what he's talking about as a gatekeeper for younger dudes. I'm not sure, but I think Alex Caceres definitely should take a step up. Let me see how many wins Alex has had. Has he only got 2 wins thus far in a row? Yeah, he lost against Crone, then he beat Steven Peterson, and now Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper, young kid, 20 years old, jiu-jitsu phenom. You know, nothing much to say for him other than just get back to the drawing board and keep doing his thing. Obviously, work on your striking, work on maybe some more takedown techniques and things like that, and just work on your striking to lean into your wrestling to get to the ground to get your grappling, and go from there. The fight before that, let's see, the Ian Heinisch versus Gerald Meerschaert. I saw that. It was it was 1 minute and 14 seconds in the first round, KO TKO by Ian Heinisch. Like, it's weird. Like Ian Heinisch, I feel like Ian Heinisch is such a beast, but I feel like there's something missing from his game. I can't tell what. The dude's obviously a beast. Don't get me wrong, the dude is a beast. What was it his last fight where I was watching? I was like, dude, he's better than this. Omari Akhmedov. Yeah, see, I don't remember that fight. It's the Usman and Covington card, which was December. I don't remember, and then he lost to Derek Brunson. See? Yeah, he was doing so well. I don't know. He needs to just keep improving, dude. Just keep improving. I don't know if he can be championship caliber. I feel like he can get to the top of the 185-pound division at middleweight, but I don't know. We'll see. So good fight there. Fight before that, Cody Stamann defeating Brian Kelleher, unanimous decision, won all 3 rounds. Cody Stamann, obviously everybody knows. They talked about it on the broadcast. Super unfortunate position to be in with his younger brother, Jacob Stamann. I tried to look up some information because I heard about it, but I didn't look into it. As of I saw, there was a website called The Sun. I don't know how reputable that website is, but I saw they put up an article about his brother Jacob, and it was posted yesterday, and it said the family still didn't know the cause of death. So I'm assuming, of course, when somebody dies, you usually go through I'm forgetting what the process is, to have the body checked to see the reasoning for the death. But obviously it's got to be something internal or ingested or a heart attack or something, because if it was a gunshot or something like that, something physical to the body, it's pretty obvious. But if they still don't know, they said he passed away, I think, on the 27th. Yes, and today's the 6th, so it's been a week and a half, and they still don't know, so I assume the autopsy is still being worked on. It's got to be some internal, but, dude, my heart goes out to the Stamann family. I actually had a friend from high school. I say friend, like, I talk to him a little bit here and there. I don't talk to him outside of high school or college. I have a lot of friends that I talk to from high school, some from college, a lot more from high school, and one of those guys I talked to, not a lot, just a super fun guy. His brother had an accident recently and passed away as well, and he was just out kayaking. And it's just stuff like this, like, he had that happen, and now I know Cody Stamann's brother went through this, and, dude, it was hard to, hold back a tear, the moment after the fight, Brian Kelleher goes over and talks to Cody, and I'm assuming Brian's like, hey, man, great fight. I'm sorry about your brother. And you could just see Cody just break out, just emotions just rolling over his face, and dude, let it all out. Like, yeah, obviously, you don't want to have that as something people use as stupid memes or things like that against you, but go back to your hotel, and yeah, he needs to have the grieving start, because he's been, it happened on that Wednesday, and he just kind of put in the back of his mind, focused on this. And yeah, it was an outlet, 100%. I think it was DC. It was like, he's using this as an outlet to just not think about it. And now he can finally go back and grieve and let it set in and be better, man. Dude, it was a great fight. Brian Boone Kelleher is no joke. And when Brian Boone Kelleher came to the UFC, the dude was just left and right, knocked people out, doing great. He's kind of been on a little bit of skid here and there. But Cody Stamann's the beast. He was talking about his frame is kind of short for the 145 weight class, and I kind of agree. It's unfortunate it's hard for him to get down to bantamweight. He said it's kind of tough to get down there. But great fight. Looked good. So keep doing his thing, and he'll probably move up in the rankings. Any other fights I want to talk about? I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 fights. I have the card up here. Mackie Pattillo defeated Charles Byrd, KO, ground and pound, round 2, 1 minute and 10 seconds in. Oh, yeah, this is the guy with the... you know what? I need to look at his card. Mackie Pattillo. I hope I'm saying his name right, because his nickname is Coconut Bombs. And I want to say either I've seen him fight in person or I've seen him fight in a different promotion. Let me look. UFC Contender Series, Bellator, CFFC, Victory FC. No, maybe I haven't seen him in person. I knew him from somewhere. Maybe it was Bellator. It's interesting. He won a fight in Bellator, just one fight, and then went to Contender Series. I don't know. I feel like I knew him from somewhere. But he went on Contender Series, won that, and then he fought on the same card as Whitaker versus Adesanya in October, lost that, and then now won this fight against Charles Byrd. Dude looked good. Dude, Coconut Bombs, he's legit. Like, he needs to keep working on it. It's weird. It was 185. Like, I feel like they didn't look like big dudes for 185. Like, when I think of 185, I'm thinking like dudes like Luke Rockhold. Like, I feel like Bisping wasn't even that big of a dude for 185. Like, Luke Rockhold, Chris Weidman, like those big dudes. I don't think Pattillo was that big. But I know on the broadcast they said he looked pretty big. But great fight there for Pattillo. So let's see, what's next? Alex Perez getting a KO, TKO. Oh, yeah, this was the leg finish. Getting the, was it the calf kick on Jussier Formiga? Dude, Jussier Formiga, how many losses has Formiga had? Because Formiga has been at the top. That's 3 losses in a row, dude. So he lost to Benavidez, Brandon Moreno, and now Alex Perez. Alex Perez is coming on the up and up, man. Jussier Formiga used to be at the top for a while at flyweight, and now 3 losses in a row. That sucks. But Perez, dude, he looked good, just slamming those kicks in. I want to say it was the outside of Formiga's left leg, if I remember correctly, because I remember him laying down, and I forget who the ref was, but the ref called it, and it's like, yep. I think he went down once, and I was like, ref going to call that? And then he got back up, and Perez slammed him again with it at one point, and he went back down. It's like, and ref's like, yep, that's done. So, did I just do the Hitler thing? I meant to do this. So, that was good. You know, these are all like early prelim fights too. Second from the beginning of fights on the early prelims, we had Devin Clark fighting Alonzo Minefield. Dude, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about these heavyweight fighters. This is light heavyweight, but those heavyweight fighters that constantly get 1 minute in, you know, in knockout, another fight, 2 minutes in, knockout. It's these dudes. They have to get the experience of going through fights, and Minefield has got that experience now where. Sometimes you can't put the other dude away, and sometimes you got to have a plan B and a plan C because he looked like he just got so gassed. He was holding. I remember he had Devin Clark up against the cage. He was pushing him in the cage. I thought whoever the ref was, I wish they would have been a little more, called it a little more to tell Alonzo to do more work because he was just kind of like leaning on him, and Clark was like. Kind of sitting there, like kneeing him a little bit, like nothing that's going to finish the fight, so let's do something. And Minefield was just holding him in that second and third round. Like, obviously, he came out swinging in the first round, but he just kind of leaning on him in the second, third round and did nothing with it. And you could tell he was gassed. And so I think that's good experience for him because per the Tapology record, he was 9-0, and now he's 9-1. So that's his first loss. So he should learn from this. He'll come back better. But obviously Devin Clark, great fight. He looked, he got hit. I'll be straight up. He got hit hard that first round, and it was questionable. I was like, oh shit, Clark might get put away here. But dude, he came back, and his corner was his dad, I think. On the broadcast, you could hear his dad like telling him like, it's a fight, get in there, and just like hollering at him, and he grunted it out and was able to get the victory. So it was a unanimous decision too. So he won all 3 rounds. Even that first round, he was getting clocked in. So great fight for Devin Clark. And then the very first fight on the card on the early prelims was Herbert Burns, brother of Gilbert Burns, the dude that just beat Woodley, was it last week? But beats Evan Dunham. Evan Dunham, dude, he's been around a long time. Let's see, when was Evan Dunham's first UFC fight? Let's take a look. I gotta scroll. 2009, dude. This is 11 years ago. He's been in the UFC 11 years. I think, yeah, he hasn't left the UFC. 11 years. So now, if you look at Evan Dunham, look at his record. Let's see. So he's had 3 losses in a row. His last win was 2016, September 2016, against Rick Glenn. Damn. So it's over 3 years, but it's not 4 years. So 3.5 years. It's getting close on 4 years without a win. So he's lost to OAM, Olivier Aubin Mercier. He lost to Francisco Trinaldo. And then now he lost to Herbert Burns. Now, his fight with Francisco Trinaldo, that was scheduled that took place in September 2018. And then he was supposed to fight Michael Johnson in 2020. Damn. But Dunham had to withdraw, it looks like. And then he had this fight with Herb Burns and lost that. Dude, the Burns boys, just like Joe Rogan said, what's in the water over there? Because the Burns are looking good, man. Because I didn't say how the fight ended. It was round 1, minute 20 seconds, submission, rear naked choke. Dude, I think he was going in on one side. I want to say it was like his right arm at first trying to go under. And then he got like Evan bellied down while he was on his back, and then kind of switched arms and went to the other arm, and then got it like right behind him. And dude, it was deep, and it was super under the chin too. So Evan, or no, I'm getting that wrong. It was a different fight that was like that. No, this fight was over. It was like kind of like right on like almost like the edge of the chin. I feel like, because I think Joe was saying like it's like, oh, it was right on the chin, must have been that squeeze. It wasn't like way up. It was like further down if I remember correctly. And dude, that shit was tight. So Herbert Burns goes to 11-2, looking good, dude. But he's 155 pound division. So it says 150. It's not 150. It's 155. Was that actually 150 pounds, or was that 155? That's weird. Tapology says it's 150. I assume it's lightweight division, so that'd be 155. Huh. Weird. Anyways, yeah, so that's our entire card. I'm already 2 minutes over my goal time, 30 minutes. I just wanted to go over all those fights and say hey, hopefully I'm back. I think next weekend. Do we want to talk about the card next weekend? Do I even want to like bring it up? I want to say like I don't like to crap on fighters. I really don't. I like all fights. I like all fighters. But the next card, main event, Jessica I versus Castillo. What's her first name again? Cynthia Calvillo. Not the greatest card. I mean, I saw a couple gems here and there. Like I see Ray Borg's already back fighting. Marvin Vittori, he's that Italian fighter. I think he had a fight recently, but his guy pulled out like either the day of weigh-ins or day of fight, which sucks. Andre Touchy-Feely's fighting. Mark De La Rosa's fighting. So there's a couple gems here and there. Jordan Espinoza, why does he look familiar? Huh. So probably not a super stat card. I should do another video of it just to kind of keep doing my thing. But yeah, anyways, thanks again for watching. What do I always say at the end of these? Hit the old thumbs up if you like it, subscribe, all that jazz. I think I officially hit 10 subscribers, so if you want to subscribe, I might see if I work on. I've been making my own little thumbnails. Maybe I'll look into seeing if I can find somebody to work on making thumbnails for me, just to kind of look a little more professional, update my channel a little bit. But I don't know, just some things I want to work on the side with this channel. There's some other things I want to work on, like this big plan. I really want to, I work in IT, but I want to diversify some of the things I want to work on. Like I want to get my school loans paid off, and then I want to save up some money to have a sum of change, like a lump of money on the side. I don't want to say I just want to quit what I'm doing and start a business, but I really want to get into helping. I'm really thinking I want to be an MMA manager, and I think I kind of took a whack at it. But let's just say when it came to the advertising part and actually reaching out, I never did it. Like I got everything ready, and I was like, yeah, I think I can do this. But I was totally unprepared, and I need to do more research. Honestly, maybe even get like a sports management degree just on the side. I don't know. Anyways, talk for another time. But anyways, have a good night. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys next Saturday. I won't do a preview for the fight next weekend. I'll just do a reaction like I did now. So, all right. I'm gonna let you go. Have a good night. Get some sleep. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.